Okay, no chapters in this particular chapter, no particular stage in this chapter yet has really made me think, oh man, how am I ever gonna get diamond on this? Or man, I don't really want to get diamond on this because it doesn't sound like a fun thing to do. I've managed to get diamond on everything so far, consequently. Yeah, me not getting diamond on a given stage is really just a matter of me thinking, oh, this stage seems really unpleasant to try to get a diamond on, so I just don't. Because I don't want to do all the routing it involves or something. And I also have no particular leads for where to look here for getting the treasure box, so I'm honestly just going to look around to start with, and it's down here. Oh, okay. Let's run over there then. Ideally, actually getting there at some point. Figured that just repeating the path I've been taking until now would actually be something that I could do fairly casually. And I've completely lost it, apparently. All my training on this stage completely gone the moment I get the diamond, apparently. Also, why didn't I jump that time? I was pressing the jump button. No, this was not a part that was difficult before. Now I've completely lost it. Like, I didn't take a break between last recording session and this one or anything. I just can't do this anymore. There, jeez. There you go. See, like, this one's just... You look around a little bit and you find it. Guys, stop. You just look around a little bit and you find it, and then you contrast it to something like the tightrope that is this one. Or some of the other more difficult ones to pick up, like the one in bonus 2 I got at the beginning of like 4 episodes ago, off screen from something I recorded non-live. Start on this again. Okay. Everything's just slightly in awkward places and whatnot. Also, that checkpoint did not make checkpoint noises. Ah! Come on. No. We're doing this. This weird thing where you spin a lot the second time you hit the ground also makes it really hard to land on a small platform. Also, the checkpoint text has not disappeared. What is going on? But because what happens is you can land you can get yourself to land on a small platform with no spin. But then when you do so, suddenly you have a lot of spin. Along with what might be a very small bounce, even. So you have no real time to get rid of all that spin. Man, it's really hard that I have to push away from this wall to undo my spin. And simultaneously push towards the wall to actually land on the thing I need to land on. There. Oh, that's just a time saver. Huh, that's a pretty tricky one. Cool. I thought that must be a treasure box. We're really, setting a pretty high bar here for... What am I doing? For picking up a time travel now. I was wondering if I could skip something somehow there, but I'm not really sure that I can. It feels really tempting to do so. don't really know how to pull it off. Yeah, that checkpoint seems bugged or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. Ah, man. That one's really tempting to pick up if I am having trouble getting enough, enough of a good speed here. What is going on? Why can't I... Come on. I'd have to pull a little bit of time and effort into picking that thing up. And I'm going to try every time anyways, of course, but still. Yeah, that checkpoint's just bugged. It's weird. Not particularly optimal time here so far, but... There's something a bit tightrope-ish here, too. Well, yeah, if you really want to get the best time here, like, you really have to do some tightroping. That's really weird to see. The game has been really averse to that so far for some reason. Not that I want things to get really ridiculous about it or anything, but, like, it's a... And making the player walk across... thin platforms is, in my opinion, a valid thing to ask them as you make the game harder and harder. I think it's a natural thing to progress to. Is this one gonna do the same thing? Ah! Man! But yeah, so all of a sudden, hey, this is fair game. Not a thing that's required to complete a stage, but at the very least, get a good time. You actually have to do some somewhat hard-ish. Man! Tight roping. The hardest part there is just landing on the darn thing with the spin that you inevitably have. I hate the jump whenever you happen to be touching a little bump in the ground. The way that just makes you jump in a way completely useless. Optimizing the movement at the very beginning here feels kind of tough. Ah, jeez. Even then, they still had guardrails for the supposed tight-roping segments, which seems kind of silly to me. Come on now. You have to land without a guardrail, but the rest has one, which seems especially strange because the landing is the hard part. I can't imagine you'd be able to get a diamond here without getting at least some of the trickier... Man! It's a lot of time I just lost not grabbing either of those. At least some of the trickier time travels, and I like how they have the... Ah, really? I like how they have the treasure box just out there. I was looking at the gold time here. Yeah, gold here does not look that tough to get, all things considered. But I imagine you need to beat that by quite a decent amount to get the diamond if they weren't just like a really silly amount of generous. Went a little wild there. Yeah, this is a stage that could take me a while. It's kind of surprising to me how rough this one little stage is. Like, even little things like the very beginning there, it kind of have this little feint with the downhill here. If you jump on the hill, you just won't make the jump. It's also non-trivial even just to make this little jump right here. Like there is a good line through here that's fast-ish. Yeah, if you jump there, you will jump directly into the pit. It might be possible to like jump. No, I don't think it's a thing that can be done. Yeah, you have to swing outwards a little bit, I feel like. Even just this one odd little segment here. My god. It just seems designed to make it unusually hard to actually run through here efficiently, even though it's just not a lot going on. I just don't have the speed. Like, if you don't build up the speed you need for that jump, you just can't do it. And it's a weirdly nuanced thing, getting that kind of speed right there. There. Man, I still have the rightward spin too by the time I land, which I'm trying to get rid of. And then if you try... Those tightrope are at least thin enough that trying to fly at them actually does prove slightly difficult. Oh, well, yeah, sure. I find that using the booster a little early seems to work a bit better. It seems better not to have a ton of air that you drop onto that platform with. Ugh, man. Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend a bunch of time extending my intended play time today in this game. Trying to do well on this stage. So I might just not. I might say, okay, we'll come back to this next time. But I'll give it a few more good shots. God. But there is something about these guardrails that makes you actually really dislike trying to jump onto platforms with them, which is that they actually make it so that if you do land anywhere but the very center of the thing, you end up... Oh, come on. God, I hold left and I still bounce to the right. Even while I'm holding left before I hit the ground. But yeah, if you try to land on these things and you don't land like dead center on them, they send you flying off the side because you bounce off the ridges. Man. Come on now. Trying to correct in each direction just makes you go in the wrong way. Okay, man. Ah, I hate that so much, how you end up with so much spin in the direction that you're not actually moving. Yeah, it is tough. I like this. It's just it's at the sort of difficulty now though where even though I don't mind doing it, it is also difficult to feel confident making a video with it because it's just me doing the same thing over and over and over. More so than this game already is. There are certain things where I do feel like it's hard to make good content out of them even when they are a good game. I see this a lot about puzzle games in particular, where I think it's really hard to make a playthrough of a puzzle game actually satisfying. Unless you figure things out fairly quickly every single time. And manage to do so in a way that makes the audience feel included in the thought process. But that's not easy to do. Or you already know what to do every time, so, well, you're kind of skipping most of the gameplay. Or you don't catch on, on what to do at which point that can greatly frustrate the audience, who does have an idea of what needs to be done. And they're just watching you beat your head against the wall, not knowing what to do. While then it seems obvious what you ought to be doing a lot of the time. Jeez. Okay, I feel like I earned that. Yeah, I felt once I picked up the double time travels after the second vertical, I felt like, okay, this kind of opportunity is not going to come very often. I wasn't really feeling under pressure, but I was thinking, oh, this is actually going to be one of the rare viable runs. We'll see where this goes from here. Okay, and now we get to see how to pick up that particular treasure box. I will say, I think it's not as bad as it used to be at this point, but I think that, speaking of not always feeling good about making certain types of video content, great. It's probably apparent, or at least has been at some points, that I have a weird difficulty remembering the terms treasure box and what was it called back in the previous version of this game? I actually don't remember what it was called now. Trophy. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm just doing this for fun at this point. I don't know why, but I have this strange issue. Not like a diagnosed one or anything. I don't know if this is a known phenomenon. But there will just be certain words or names of things I will have extreme difficulty recalling on the spot. And for some reason, treasure box has been one of those. I don't know why that is. But it frequently happens in particular with, with the names of games I'm playing as well. Which always feels really dumb. But there will be cases where, like, where I've been referring to a game over and over for, like, a long time. Like, if I'm playing a particular series, and I occasionally refer back to a particular game in that series, I'll just, for some reason, every single time I try to refer to that game, it'll take me a good few seconds to think back of what its name is. And I don't know why that happens. It's extraordinarily frustrating. It's worse. It's one thing in videos where it's a very low stakes thing anyways. The worst is when I'm trying to have an actual discussion with a person and they begin to think I have no idea what I'm talking about because it sounds like I can't remember whatever it is I was saying. Or I can't remember the name of some basic important thing. Oh, come on, I want to go back the other way for that. My god. Yeah, getting the speed for this is quite tricky, isn't it? Like, I can't just jump like that. I'm wondering if I can also jump from this side. But I need to actually get the speed to do so. I'm thinking... This is one of those things there where it would be much preferable to not bounce. When I bounce like that, it means that I don't... It greatly reduces the amount of choice I have in where and how I jump at something. Yeah, that feels like the way to do it. You see there, right there, when I do a little bounce there. If I'm trying to line myself up for a jump in a very specific location, a bounce like that just means, oh, whoops, you can't jump for a little while now, which is extremely inconvenient. There we go. See, if I had bounced on that very last jump before, the jump to this treasure box, that would have completely messed the whole thing up. Which is kind of what happened to the previous attempt. Okay, I have bubbles now. I don't know if there's any... I do have a marble that works well for bubbles. Not the blue lava, although blue lava is still cool. So there's tide pool and there's oceanic. In some way, I think Tide Pool looks kind of cooler, but this one's more overtly water. Okay, where is there like an electric trail anywhere? No, I lamented on multiple occasions that there wasn't. For some reason, I still like this one a lot. It looks like a marble that's locked, which is funny to me. So it looks like you're getting to play as a UI element. It says you don't have the thing that you're playing as. Very good. So next time we'll check out this stage. I'm not going to do it now. I just wanted to take a moment to see my new marble. I like this. It's a funny layout for a stage, though. Alright, cool. Okay, next time, we'll probably finish up bonus 3. Moved a little slowly through here, but we are pretty close to the end of the game here. We have just the last bit of bonus 3. Then we will have... I guess I'll head on into chapter 6. And then we'll have chapter bonus 4. And then we'll be pretty much done. I may go back to... I don't know if I'll be tempted to go back to try to get any diamonds anywhere where I got gold before or not. But anywhere that anywhere I gave up on my diamond before is a place where I think I have good reason for doing so. So, I don't know. And generally, any chapter where I have any golds, I have a lot of golds. Which is kind of funny. Although I say any chapter, it's just 2, isn't it? Yeah, I'm surprised how much diamond I've gotten on everything so far. Anyways, so next time, we'll keep going on that. We're pretty close to finishing up at this point, though, although who knows how long the last 2 chapters will take. Regardless. Alright, bye everyone.